Hello, my name is Ruben Vasquez. I am presenting for Aspen University Advanced Addictions Counseling ADC 665 July 26 term. The session goal that I'm trying to present is application of Adlerian therapy in a role-play counseling situation with a client suffering from substance abuse. The techniques that I hope to utilize are the as-if technique. Thank you. Um, well, good morning, Mr. Escobar.
Buenos días.
Thanks for coming in today. I appreciate you coming in. And what brings you in today, Pablo?
Well, recently, I hang out with a bad crowd, and we do drugs, and I actually deal with drugs a little bit. And I've been doing a bit more than I really should have, and I'm beginning to even scare myself. So I want to see if I can I want to try to get some treatment.
So what? So you've decided to come in here. Now you're saying that you're using drugs. Are you using them on a daily basis?
Yes.
Are you using them in a? Are you using it while you're at home, or are you using it when you're hanging out with your friends?
I do it more with my friends because I don't want my family to see me doing that. So but I do feel dependent on it.
Now, do you feel that you have to really kind of keep that habit going and try and work on trying to keep that habit? So it's scaring you.
Yes.
Have your parents ever noticed any unusual behavior or any unusual situations what you're doing?
I think they're beginning to notice that something is really up with me, and even they told me you should try to talk to us, and I want to, but it's just I don't want to let them know about that. I mean, I can't really face them on that.
Do you keep drugs at home?
Yes.
Do you use drugs every day?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I really appreciate you coming in. I think that's it says a lot about your character and your ability to see what negative things have you seen happen in school mainly and or your work that has really created you to be able to come to me and see me or come into the office and see us.
Negative things that happen in my work?
Yes.
Just one of the guys that I hang out with, he actually is working. He's in a pretty serious condition right now. He's his drug abuse. He's abusing the drug at this point. He's doing it I'd say about double the amount I'm doing it right now. And he just recently ended up in the hospital because of it. And I'm pretty worried I'm going to end up like that pretty soon here.
Well, that's great. That's a powerful reason to be here in the office. And obviously you have career expectations and goals of what you want to do with your life.
Yes.
Okay. What career goals do you have, or what goals do you have, or what expectations do you have for yourself?
I'd like to enter the military.
Great. Well, that's definitely something that we can work on and try and see if we can, find some healing for you and trying to get that behavior off and get you out of using drugs, because that really is not going to take you anywhere. But one of the things that I thought is I'd like to try a new technique. Well, it's not really a new technique. It is a technique that's called the as-if technique from Adlerian therapy. Basically, it's certain behaviors that I'd like to try with you and see how that would work, and see if we can stop the habit and stop the drug abuse and maybe get some behavior changes. Basically, what that Adlerian therapy does, or the as-if Adlerian therapy does, is you're going to act as if they are going to work for you. You're going to imagine, certain behavior changes that you would like to accomplish, that you would think as if they were going to work for you. Also, you're going to try certain things that as if you are confident that they were going to work for you. And then we'll experiment with those behaviors, and we'll see what we can come up with, and then we can set up additional sessions and see how those are working for you. How's that sound?
Okay,
great. So starting with the as-if questions, what behaviors you could engage with that you think that would stop that behavior?
Well, one that I can think of off the top of my head would probably be trying to stop this by myself. Just completely cut myself off from it entirely. Just doing drugs, just stop entirely. Just try to find this out for myself and do it on my own.
Now, what feelings do you think just completely stopping would create? Just stopping the drug use just cold.
Um, I would probably say maybe a little bit of depression, maybe, or maybe a little bit of hate. Like you need it, you need it, you need it, and I guess to a point where it's just I start coming up with ideas that I probably won't even want to have.
What about stress?
Stress, yes, it would do stress because I am dependent on this, so I'd feel like I need it more.
So trying to make an attempt to really stop using drugs right away would be a good policy,
Right.
or good starting point. Now, how would you go about like completely stopping and not having the drugs around? What would you do?
I just I don't really know.
Probably get rid of everything that you have close to you. Throw everything away.
Probably throw everything away. Just getting rid of all the drugs around me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good way to start. Now, what other situation, as if you're confident that things that you think they would work?
Things that I would work.
Yeah.
Stop hanging out with the people that I hang out with, because the people that I hang out with, I believe in a way like are a bit of a peer pressure, and they influence you more to want to do it. So I think just stop hanging around that crowd in general, and probably finding a new crowd, or just staying to myself in general for a while. Like that would benefit me.
So basically, I think you can, from what I understand, is you're saying that the people that you're hanging around with are creating a negative influence around you and creating bad behaviors around you. And if you were to break away from those people, I think it would help you move on to a better, to eliminate the drug use, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Do you have any friends that you are close to that would probably empower you to try and stay away from drugs? What about your parents?
My parents. That's also a third behavior I like to go into, because I'd like to try to talk to them and maybe seek some help from them and see their opinion, and probably confront them about this finally.
Okay, great.
Because
Well,
I feel like I'm hiding this from them.
great. Well, let's talk about stopping behaviors. Okay, so we have your parents. So you're gonna try and disassociate yourself with them. So probably one of the things you could do is try and find the people that you get along with that are not involved in bad stuff, not involved in criminal activity. Stay away with the kids that have good grades and that have a future ahead of them. So that would be one of them. Now, you talked about talking to your parents. How would you think that would make you feel when you talk to your parents?
Relieved, because I feel like I'm hiding this from them, and I think confronting them about this would give me a sense of relievement and have them want to help me more and me want to be associated with them more.
Now, would that create a sense of fear having to approach your parents and tell them that you have a drug problem?
Yes, because it's hard for me to talk about this. I just hide this from them, and I know they're worried. It's just I don't want to tell them.
Do you think that they would be receptive to you coming up to them, telling them I need help?
Absolutely.
That's great. Okay, well, let's, based on that, let's say the first thing we're going to try and do, I think since you've already started doing drugs, I think stopping right off the bat, I don't think that would be a great idea, and just try and eliminate all the drugs and see how that goes. Then second, I think it would be also just eliminate those friends, try and eliminate those numbers, try and politely disconnect yourself, not talk to them, and try and get closer to the people that are good people, away from all the drugs. Try and stay home more. Maybe staying home a little bit more would work. And talking to your parents. I think talking to your parents will also be a good important part of it, because they will be able to probably find the medical guidance that you need to be able to initially, once you stop, it may create a lot of stress and may create medical issues. So if they're helping you, I think that would be a great initiative to start doing that. So I think the first part that we can do, at least for this week, how about if we try and see how it feels to be able to stay away from using, get rid of everything, see how that makes you feel, breaking away from your friends, and approaching your parents. Try and talk to them and tell them what your plans are, and see how that works out this week. And then in this week we'll start to see how that's working out and start setting up a plan for treatment. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yes.
Okay. I think we have a initial plan of what things that you believe as if they will work, so basically trying to uh, disassociate yourself from the bad behaviors with those people, and try and talk to your parents, and maybe try and see if we can seek some counseling.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in, and I will see you next week.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.